Hey guys, we're back and we're with Peter Scott today. Yeah, thank you for joining. I'm Nolan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Peter, Caleb's been telling me that you work at an airport and you do photography there.
Yep. So yeah, now I'm at Denver International Airport, and I am actually the photographer, videographer, and audio guy. And I will be the damn manager. This comes off a little funny, but it's digital asset management. So I manage all those photos and, put them in a stock catalog, and keywording is a big thing. So we can find them easily later. So it's basically like a big stock catalog, like you might see online or other professional services. So we're just getting into that maybe in the next month. So yeah, it's a lot. At St. Jude, I was a photographer, which was a lot, but and we had a full team there, and at the airport, it's like a one-man show. So I'm doing all the above kind of stuff, photos and videos and audio. And, it's great though. I absolutely love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Since you worked at like a hospital and an airport, what would you say? Like, is there like a difference between being a photographer for both? Since you've been both at one point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Yes and no. Obviously, working at the hospital, more on the medical side, we did a lot of medical photography, surgery. I don't want to get too detailed into that, but yeah, medical surgery, that kind of stuff. And that was wild. I mean, first time I was in surgery, I was in there for 6 hours, and you don't really know how you're going to sort of handle everything, because you're seeing all the visuals. It's very, very in front of you, very raw. But then, for me, it's focusing on the job and photography. And I was just talking to somebody else about that. Like, if I was afraid of heights, and like, not if I have a camera in my hands, because that's sort of my release. It's like, if I have a camera in front of my hands, then if I have a camera in my hands, I can, focus on the shots and not necessarily like, if it's necessarily bad or whatever, or visually like sort of overstimulating, I can focus on the photography aspect of it and sort of, move through it that way. And I've found that with a lot of things I do is if I'm, scared of something or nervous, or, if I'll be like, all right, I'll take a picture of it. I'll sort of get through it that way rather than sort of, not doing it necessarily. So my camera is certainly my release. Sorry, I got off on a sort of different tangent there. So anyway, other stuff at the hospital, we do a lot of research work. So a lot of portraits, a lot of action shots, environmental portraits, or, just what they're doing in the lab. And that's very similar to, also what I'm doing at the airport. I'll take pictures of operations where they're out the airfield doing their thing, or, painter painting. So in that aspect, it's similar. And then events. I mean, at Caleb, as you know, there's, thousands of events a year at St. Jude, and it's very similar at the airport. So it's good to have that background experience, obviously working at St. Jude for so long. And it encompassed so much. I mean, it was like location lighting and studio lighting and available light and strobe lighting, and then, working with kids and pets and working with the parents too, and then just your regular staff and all that kind of stuff. So it's similar in that way, where I work a lot with employees. And funny enough, today we actually had an announcement that our airport was just inducted into the Guinness Book World Records for the largest therapy animal program in the United States. So we have the largest, and we just had the big event today. So still photographing therapy dogs like we now have at St. Jude. So yeah, it's similar in some sense with the events and whatnot, but obviously St. Jude was a little bit more focused, here and there with research work, did some microscopy there, and the kids in the rooms, and, I don't have that at the airport, but it was, I mean, I think St. Jude was such a great place. And I think for me, for my wife and I, we wanted to be a little bit more out in the mountains, basically. So, it just wasn't a place I saw myself living forever. Like if St. Jude might have been in Colorado, I might still be at St. Jude. But but I'm so happy I found the airport. It's something a little different. And for me, as far as the airport, I've always loved airports. Like I am that guy that goes to the airport like super early, and I love the people watch. So I'll get there early and get to my spot. So there's no stress, and I'll people watch for quite some time. And, so yeah, it's great working at the airport. I get, go behind the scenes, which I did at St. Jude too, but the airport's fun because I get my own car. I get to play on the airfield and planes are flying right over me. Come up to a stop sign, big old 777 just passes right in front of me. It's pretty wild, and it has not got old yet. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, it's a good time.
You're saying you people watch. You probably see me at some point because I live in Colorado. So
are you serious? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Maybe I have then. That's cool. Where are you like in, I'm in Central Park. It was, used to be called Stapleton, but, where are you at?
I live up in the Erie area.
Okay.
So Erie, Boulder.
Yeah.
Around there.
Nice. Yeah. We hike, and that's the thing. Like when we moved out here, we hike pretty much every single weekend, and we just have a blast. We've been doing so many activities. And I'm from Minnesota originally, so I grew up literally like a lake, and I went fishing all the time. So I grew up like with the fishing pole in my hand. But out here, I have been like tunnel vision fly fisherman. I love it. I just love it. It's so much fun. Oh my God. So yeah, it's a blast.
Yeah. I have a friend that likes to fly fish too. I don't know if I think he fly fishes a lot around here.
Yeah.
But all I know is he does trips and goes fly fishing. So
Nice. Yeah, that's the way to do it. It's great.
I don't really fly fish, but I fish. So
yeah.
He showed me how to fly fish. I'm like, no.
Not for you. Yeah. No, it's
too worried I'm gonna hook myself in the back.
I know. Yeah, I haven't knocking on my desk wood here. I have not done that yet, but I've always thought about that because you're constantly sort of going back and forth, and yeah, it's all over the place. But I haven't done that yet. A lot of snags almost every time I go out, but haven't hooked myself. So that's good.
Hopefully you won't.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
Or then you'll experience there are great hospitals here.
Yeah, there we go. Absolutely. Oh man. And cool.
Yeah, so how did you and Caleb meet? I know he was telling me a little, but I kind of wanted to hear from both of you guys.
Oh, Caleb, how was it? I mean, I think we met, I want to say probably either two different ways. It was probably either at events, or my guess it might have been actually in the studio.
I think it was because I needed a photo shoot.
Yeah, so.
And you've taken my pictures many of times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think,
you know which side of me is good.
That's right. I know Caleb's good side and bad side, all that good stuff. Yeah, and I think that's sort of how, I'm
all the pictures of me at the occasions.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've been to so many events. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've photographed you so many times.
People can't even remember.
Right. I know. And that's why I'm like, how'd I photograph or how'd I meet Caleb? Because I mean, we've been around each other so much, and I photographed you so much.
Little.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
And I'm
it's probably an event, and then, studio multiple times. And then we just sort of connected up, always saying hi in the hallway. And yeah, the golf course. Yep. The big PGA.
And the Country Cares.
Country Cares. That's another big one. You were at them all, man. You had
concerts.
All the concerts. Yep. Yeah, you were always there.
And the meet and greet.
The where was the last one?
Meet and greets.
Yep.
All meet and greets. The actresses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You met a lot of. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So how did you get into doing photography?
Oh man, that's a good question. I got into it a little bit in high school, and I had a really, really good high school art photography teacher. He's more into photography, but he also taught art. he really got me into it. Sort of starting, I didn't know that's necessarily what I wanted to do, but in high school, that's sort of what I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is fun. And then in college, it's funny. When I started off college, I was playing baseball, and I also what I wanted to be was like an ornithologist, like a falconer. That's the study of birds and all that kind of stuff. So I took all these hard classes my first year of college. I was taking like botany, ecology, zoology, and playing college baseball as well. And when you play college baseball, you go to play baseball and not necessarily like go to school. So what happened was basically, I mean, I just was sort of overwhelmed with everything. Something had to give. And as much as I loved baseball, that's what I ended up leaving. And still to this day, it was still the right choice for me. I love baseball, but it just wasn't something I saw myself continuing. I sort of honestly lost the passion for it because it almost felt a little bit more like work than anything else in college. So then anyway, in college, and then instead of sort of studying birds like in the book sense, I switched gears, and that's really when I got into photography. And in 1999, I went on a trip that changed my life. I went to Nepal, for about a month, and it was like a 5-day, 6-night hiking in the foothills of the Himalayas. We spent a couple nights in Kathmandu. We went on a tiger safari on top of elephants in Chitwan National Forest. And then we stopped in Bangkok on the way back. I mean, it was just this incredible trip. And I think I was 20 years old. And when I got back, the images I came back with from that really sort of set my vision on like, okay, I think this is what I want to do the rest of my life. And at that time, in my head, I'm like, if I want to make it, or if I, want to sort of move this as a career, I need to start, I need to get a job and all that kind of stuff. So I focused, sort of rerouted my college classes all towards like art and photography. And then I'm like, I need to start taking pictures of people, because taking pictures of people at that time was just not really my thing. It felt like I was embarrassed. I was intimidated to like walk up to somebody and ask them if I could either take their portrait or, just get some shots of them. Even my own family, I'm like, oh, I was more like the wildlife landscape kind of guy, which I still love and still love to do. But I got a job at the local newspaper, the Mankato Free Press, and I got that job really to push myself to do exactly that, to go out and take pictures of people. In working for a paper, you have to come back with something. It's not like, oh, sorry, I didn't get anything. It's also the pressure of like, all right, when you go out, you have to come back with an image, because that image is going to come out like the next day in the paper. So it's like, you have to come back with something. So you have to create and produce that, that day, because it's going out the next day, basically. So that sort of pushed me that way to start, in that sense, my photojournalism career. And then, throughout college, I was, like I said, focused on all the art classes and photography. And then after that, after college, or sort of during college, I also got a job out in Yellowstone as a cook. And actually, moving back a little bit, I cooked throughout my whole sort of life through even high school, college, and that's what paid for my photography too. And I'd go on these trips for like a month, because I'd work out these restaurants. I'd take a month off, go on a photography trip out west, go out to all the national parks. I just love doing that kind of stuff. Stayed camping in KOAs, and it was just great. I loved it. I missed those days for sure. But then, at the end of college, I worked out. I got a job out in Yellowstone as a chef out there, which was perfect. So I'm like, this is great. I had the morning shift. I was a manager of a kitchen, and so I had the 4 a.m. shift to like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. It was a long morning, afternoon, but I was in the middle of Yellowstone. I was actually in Old Faithful, so I can go out and photograph, nature and wildlife and landscapes, and it was absolutely a blast. And then when I came back from there, that's when I really also sat down. I'm like, all right, I need to stop probably cooking and really find a photography job, because I've been cooking too much. And my photojournalism job, I was only there for like a year, almost 2 years. So yeah, I sat down and I applied to a whole bunch of places, and St. Jude popped up. And it was, so what's funny about this too is when St. Jude, when that job popped up, I'm like, that job looks interesting because it listed a whole bunch of stuff that I've already done and then a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't done. But it sounded very like intriguing. And I'm like, this is also in Memphis. Like I'll get out of sort of my home state a little bit, just venture out. And so I went back the next day to apply, and it was gone. It was off. So then I ended up calling St. Jude, and they routed me to JP and John Zacher, Caleb, who you probably remember, but and I ended up talking to JP, and I'm like, hey, I'm interested in this job. Can I still apply? I saw that you took it down, and they sent me an application, so I applied that way, and it all was like great from there. Basically, I should say great. It was great, but the interview process was long. It was like probably, it was like 8 or 9 different interviews, like phone interviews with HR, and then JP, and then John, and then they flew me down to have another interview in person, which was all great. But, just the process of it took a while. And then, a few weeks later, I was moving down to Memphis, Tennessee. So, it's that's sort of the Cliff Note version of how I got into photography. And I think one big thing too is my mom always sort of brought us up, like basically with this signature line, like somebody has to do it, so why not you, kind of thing. So, and it's crazy because now I've been a photographer for 20 plus years, and it's, sort of a hard job to stay into. It's very competitive. You have to be confident in your job and, know what you're doing and have good relations with people. And, obviously on the technical side, you need to know what's going on. And I also say from my brother, because my brother on his side, he was extremely passionate about his baseball. And we both were during high school and then a little bit in college for me, but then he went like focused on baseball, like I did photography. And now he runs, the Minnesota Baseball Academy in Minnesota. And it's like, that's what he's doing too. Like his life is all baseball and my life is all photography. So, I mean, we've both taken that line from my mom, like somebody has to do it, so why not you? And just has completely like, well, yeah, somebody does have to do it, so why not? And it's not like we don't, we never really say it. And we don't mean it to be like, cocky or stuck up. It's like, well, yeah, I can do that. Like, why not? But somebody does have to do it. So yeah, that, like I said, is sort of the Cliff Note version of how I sort of got into it from the trip. And I've always really just loved it since really like 1999 when I went on that Nepal trip. It was just images that came back from there were just incredible. So always been into it since then, and not all in, well, I don't want to say not in all good ways, but it's very expensive. It's very expensive too. So, just gear, and I'm a gear freak, so I love that kind of stuff. I love talking gear. I love buying gear. I'm always on like, the latest and greatest, what's coming out, and then like the blogs and vlogs, and I'll read and watch a lot of YouTube videos, just sort of, what's coming out, what's new, and just also so I can stay up. It's good for me too, because it's also, I can stay up with technology. If there's some kind of new thing coming out that can do something, it's like, well, maybe we should buy that here. Maybe that's a tool that we need. So yeah, always something out there to buy.
That's true.
Yeah. So you were saying that we need. Do you have like a photography business, or is it just you? Do you have a crew, or? Oh, like I say we, but it's more like when it's me. Well, Dan, it's me, basically. But I like to think there's other people out there. But no, it's just me. So yeah, but for myself, I know I'm like my own like what do you call it, like my spirit guides or whatever help, hopefully they're helping me out, because it's like I said, it's crazy from moving from St. Jude where you have this massive like team of people,
and then moving to Colorado and now working at Den, it's like a one-man show. But it's good that I had all the experience there, because now I can do like photo, video, audio, and all that kind of stuff. Because even at St. Jude, I sort of branched out and started doing videos there and started doing recordings. And so I really touched a lot on that the last good few years I was there, which really helped me out on, currently, because if I just had like the sort of the photographer kind of vision, which I'm not saying it's bad at all. I mean, you can make it just in photography too, but these days it does seem like if you're a little bit more, if you have a little bit more experience in video or audio or, Photoshop and all those editing programs, you can go a little bit farther, so, but I'm not saying a regular photographer can't do their own thing too by any means. So, yeah.
Okay. So, what would be like, you would say, your favorite event that you've done so far?
Holy moly. Okay. I have a couple. I have one from St. Jude that I'll definitely mention. It was in Lake Placid, and they were doing a run. It was like, I don't even know what to call it. It's not even like a triathlon. I mean, it was just like this crazy, crazy kind of thing. Obviously it was like it was a fundraising event to raise money for St. Jude, but it was in Lake Placid, and they did like a 5K, a canoe race, a run in the woods, a scavenger hunt in the middle of the night on a golf course. And all this was sort of like right after each other. I mean, there was like, obviously there were breaks, but it was the most intense, definitely the most intense photo shoot I've ever been on, because I was there by myself. So I had to maneuver and figure out like, all right, how am I going to get there? Like if the canoe starts at this end of the lake, how the heck am I going to get on the other side of the lake? When I'm in not in Memphis where I have all this availability to cars and friends and like, hey, can you drive me over here? So it was a lot of coordination. It was exciting and extremely creatively challenging in the sense of like, in the middle of the night, like how am I gonna get shots of these people like doing the scavenger hunt? But what was really cool is like when you're out there and doing it, things just sort of present themselves. So when they're doing the scavenger hunt, they're doing it as a team. So there's like maybe 4 or 5 of them, and they have a map that has clues on it. But they come into the sort of like half circle, and they're looking at this map, and they have like headlamps on, so it creates its own sort of light for you, which is it was just a beautiful light. And ironically, that night too, which was great, there was a full moon, which was extremely bright that night. So I had that light, and that was just insane. So that was a lot of fun, extremely challenging. That was a 3-day thing that like it was sort of nonstop. The other one, not too long ago, actually at Den at the airport, they were inspecting the tents. No, I mean, so it's a very unique airport. It's just not like a building structure.
Yes.
It has tents. It's the tents. It's it's.
I know the series.
Yeah, all the conspiracy theories. Love it. I know that's another fun thing too. But they're inspecting the tents on top just for like durability, and it's been the same fabric since it's been put up. So they're just testing for what needs to be replaced. So I actually had to take like a fall certification course, which in the end wasn't like a huge deal, but I had to take it to get like harnessed in and like sort of like rope up there kind of thing. But I was able to go like literally on top of the tents and photograph the guys doing their work, and then sort of walk around up there. And I'll say it's weird because even somewhat like on a calm day when it really wasn't too windy up there, if you've ever been like on a sailboat or any boat really on the lake, it's sort of like constantly in motion. So you're constantly like using your legs to balance yourself, and it's a weird kind of feeling when you're on top, and I don't know, it's just weird. Oh God, those are sort of top 2 that come to mind. Obviously I can go on for a long time, but the Thanksgiving photo shoots were fun because a lot of celebrities came to St. Jude, and then we had to travel a lot for those celebrities too. Like I would be, so let's say I go to California, photograph Robin Williams. I'd be in the background for most of the time doing behind the scenes. And then at the end, like it was my turn to come in and photograph Robin with the kid that was there. And, it was just so, so cool to sort of be in that environment and even see what those guys, like how they light and, just sort of see the whole process of like creating commercial, so that was very fascinating. And then of course, meeting the celebrities was fun. And, Robin was probably my top celebrity, of course. I mean, he was just a genius and he could relate to a kid, 3 feet tall or an adult, like 6.5 feet tall. I mean, he was just like, he was so brilliant in his way. And it was so fun to watch him, photograph him and meet him. I think I photographed him 3 different times. So that was just, he's certainly top on my celebrity list that I've met. But like Caleb, like I have a list of celebrities that I've met and photographed, and they've all been, it's all been great. And Jennifer Aniston, Sofia Vergara, Antonio Banderas, Michael Strahan. I mean, Caleb, the list really goes on and on because there's so much support for St. Jude, and there's so many visitors, and obviously a lot of politicians have come to the airport too. Michelle Obama was there. She was beautiful, great, really sweet. I met
country singers.
What's that?
The country singers.
I'm starting because like there's so many country singers that came. I mean, Country Cares. I mean,
like
every
Kelly
time.
Pickler.
Yeah, there'd be like 20 or 30 of them there. I mean, it's just nuts. So you'd meet so many like fabulous people. It was so much fun. And Country Cares was also cool too because they bring in
like a carnival.
Carnival. Yeah. Yep. But the last thing I was going to say about Country Cares is like they bring in like the sort of the new and hot upcoming artists, and you meet them then when they're like, just starting up, and then it's like, man, they're like up here now, so it's cool to meet them back then, and now they're like really famous.
Yeah.
So they're fun. Less famous when we meet them, and then they're more famous the next time we meet them.
Yeah, it's so true. Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. Oh my gosh.
Just like us, Caleb.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I was already famous, but now I'm going to be more famous.
Even more famous. There we go, guys. Absolutely. Cool.
Because you already got a picture of me with a hat.
Oh, hat?
You got my picture with that magician's hat.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember that. Yep.
And then Leah and them.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. Absolutely, man. Yeah, it was a good time.
How did you meet your wife?
I'm actually met. So funny story again. She was a child life specialist at St. Jude, and I mean, so every now and then this is one of those stories where I go out and have photographed, employees or whoever. Like, I'll go out and photograph a cook or a researcher. And at this time, it was we need some photos of a child life specialist. So she was doing like a little activity with the patient. I think it was second floor in the patient care center, just in one of those play areas. And that's the first time I met her. And at the time, we were both sort of with somebody. So, nothing sort of went down, but that was the first time I met her was then. And then as time moved on, she broke up with her boyfriend. I broke up with my girlfriend. And then sometime after that, we ended up getting together. And we've been together since, we got married in June 2018. So yeah, we've been married just a few years now. So yeah, but we met at St. Jude.
4 years?
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's about 4 years now, Caleb. Yeah.
Yeah, but we've known each other since. I mean,
yeah,
we've been knowing each other long, like way before then, of course. But yeah, we got married in 2018. So
yeah,
we got
really
engaged
cool.
like a year. We got engaged in 2016.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been together for a while.
Yeah.
Well, we've been together over 7 years, but married just over 4. Is that right? Is that what you said? I should know this. So, yeah, I know. I'll have to bleep that part out.
Just so you know, this is audio and video recording.
I know. It's all good. No worries.
Hey, Caleb.
Yeah.
I've noticed while you were talking, you're a little quiet. Could you move this up a little closer to your mouth?
Huh?
Can you move that up a little closer if you can? I think you moved it away because I was testing out audio stuff earlier. So
yeah, they're coming in
It's
sort
my
of soft.
hat, I think.
Can you not do it?
I would have to do this.
It's fine. Never mind it.
Do you have a volume control on that thing at all, or no? On the whole mic?
Got one.
I don't think that would affect that.
No.
Well,
Okay.
maybe actually.
Well, try that.
Maybe.
Is that maybe try
Maybe
whatever.
audio gain.
Where's the,
If there's an audio gain switch, it would.
I already got it turned up.
Oh,
Hang
never
on.
mind. We're all good then.
Maybe it's just for like your earphones and not.
That just means we'll have to
Okay.
talk about some microphones.
we'll have to boost yours up or
Okay.
something at the end.
Yep.
I turned
Yep.
it up.
All right. Caleb, you got any questions? I feel like I've been talking the entire time, so I want to hand it over to you for
Sure.
a bit.
Okay. What's your most favorite photos you ever done?
Well, oh gosh, again, that's another tough one, but I do have a few. So I'll start with like the one that really got me into photography was back in 1999 from Nepal. One of those images I came back with, it was crazy. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'll try to show the camera quick. I know where it is.
Okay.
Yes. Also, just keep in mind you can email me later.
Cool.
If it doesn't show up really good on here, just email it to me. I could throw it in the video.
Okay.
I think maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. Let's see if we can see that.
Oh wow! Surprisingly, it turns out really
Beautiful.
well. Wow, that's great.
Okay. There we go. Okay. So
There you go.
yeah, I shot this on an early morning. And so this is called Fishtail. That's the Annapurna range. But what's crazy is like you have the silhouette of this like little hut down there, and then in the background you see all these. It's hard to see on the phone, but they're like little dots, campfires, and then you have these clouds in this this mountain on top. And to me, from when I came back, I'm like, that looks like Mount Olympus or something on top of floating in the clouds. It's crazy.
For real.
Yeah. So I mean that
it.
that picture alone. I'm trying to find the other one because there's one that does not show the cloud. Maybe I'll send it to you instead of looking for it right here.
Yes.
But there's another one that does not show all this clouds sort of in the middle, and it's like hill after hill, and then it becomes mountain after mountain after mountain. So that picture right there that you just saw is so deceiving because it looks like the mountain is like just floating up there, and then it goes straight down, and then like the little hut right there. But in reality, it's just like these rolling hills for like probably miles until you actually see like that mountain. So I'll send you that picture to maybe be explained a little bit better.
It looked really good on the camera. I was really shocked.
Good.
That is really, really good.
Yeah. So that's probably still to this day. And, it has a special like significance to me too, but I mean, I think it's a cool photo, but the significance to me is really cool too. What else? It's tough because I have a lot of like meaningful, patient photographer from St. Jude and the connections with, you, Caleb, and, a whole bunch and Amber and, a whole bunch of other kids that I met. I mean,
Oh yeah, I know.
yeah. I mean, those photographs it was such a special, a moment in time for them, for you and the family. And so that's hard not, have to mention that because it's such a captured moment. And it's something that, hopefully like they cherish and, the rest of their lives. And it's wild. I mean, just to sort of be in their journey with them in a sense, like on the side, kind of thing. So, I mean, I'm not going through what they're going through by any means, not saying that, but to capture that and, connect with them through photography that way, because that's something that they can take with them. Like, hey, this is where I was at this point in my life. So that's a very special thing for me. What else? Those are a couple good ones. I mean, and like I mentioned before, I'm always like, I love travel photography and macro photography, and it's funny. People have asked me like, what like photographer are you? You know, do you have like a niche? And it's a tough one because I don't necessarily, which is not that it's hard to say, but like, I think some artists feel like you should, and I don't think that's necessarily the case. You know, I love the variety that I've done in my years of photography. I mean, I've done so many different things. I mean, St. Jude is one of them. I mean, micro photography, macro photography, surgery, medical research, celebrities, events, studio, location. I mean, travel photography. I mean, it's nuts. And that's just with St. Jude. Now I'm at the airport. So it's like airfield photography and events. And it's like, it's so broad. So, I mean, that's what's great about photography. And then now being in Colorado, Nolan, as you know, it's like, this is such a beautiful place to be.
Oh yeah.
The sunrises, sunsets, the mountains, the wildlife, the fishing. I mean, it's just, and photography is definitely so much part of me that, I love to do it when I'm not working. You know, it's great to find something that, you know, you go to work every day and you love to do. So even when I go to, you know, full day to work, I'll come home and work on images that I shot last weekend that were for myself, you know. So it's something that I have never really got burned out because it's just, I have such a passion for it.
That's really cool.
So it's a lot of fun that way for sure.
It's really cool that you found like your passion in a way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It really is. I've just always loved it and really focused on it. And you know, you sort of send things out in the universe, and the universe answers a lot of the time, and sort of how my path has been basically. So it's been a good path, and a lot of failures on the way, but not every shot is perfect by any means. And I have a mess up quite a bit, but then I have a lot of successes as well. But yeah, you can't have the successes without the 100 failures, without the one success, you know? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's life, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good.
Do you still do the cooking?
Yeah, funny enough, not for a job necessarily, but I do. I am the cook in the house. I will say I cook quite a bit.
I thought that was the wife.
No. She, since I have my sort of cooking background and all that, she is completely fine with me cooking everything and all that kind of stuff. So it's she loves it. Believe me. She'll cook on occasion, but really I'm more the chef in the house.
She wants you to cook more, doesn't she?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. For sure. You know it, man.
Not really. I don't cook.
Man,
I know, it's tough.
So I had a surgery a few months ago.
Yeah.
I'm just like getting my ability to walk again.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
kind of like walk more. And so this morning, my mom's like, I'm just going to wake you up, make you some breakfast. I'm like, why? It's like, I don't want you cooking right now. I'm like, I can do it.
Oh, wow.
She's like, no. They're not letting me cook yet.
Well, maybe it's good since you're still recovering and all that.
Yeah. But hey, I there's still kind of a limp. It's not that bad anymore. I can walk.
Hey, at least
better
you're
sound like
allowed
it's
to cook.
Yeah. What, Caleb?
At least you're allowed to cook. I ain't. No, literally.
No,
my parents say I'll burn down the house if I'm cooking.
Well, maybe you will, Caleb. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe
I
you
know
will.
I will.
Trouble.
Caleb's trouble.
Because I don't know how to cook.
Yeah, like I don't mind it. It's fun.
I have to have them tell me what to do.
Yeah, that's true.
every time.
I love cooking.
I have to do the same thing with my wife. I have to basically tell her what to do. So yeah, definitely more the chef.
You're not even in here when you want me to teach you.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Oh, how funny. Oh yeah.
I like cooking because I'm kind of the person that just throws random stuff in. I look at two things, I'm like, that'd be good.
Yeah. I do.
And then I repeat it multiple times, like put different things, like different amounts in it.
Sure.
I remember before my surgery, I know this is going to make people like feel gross.
What?
I started putting Chick-fil-A sauce into my eggs with cheese. It was quite good.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I had some Chick-fil-A sauce packets laying around. I was like, let's try it.
Actually,
hey, this might be
yeah.
I actually invented one while I was in school.
Yeah.
Literally. It's called pickle pasta.
Pickle pasta. What?
Yeah.
Like pickles and pasta, I'm assuming.
Pickles, then it's got pasta, like spaghetti noodles, and then mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise?
Yeah.
What in the world? I've not heard of this at all. This is a new one for me.
Mixed all together.
Yikes. Wow.
I kept eating it. Really.
Pickles, mayonnaise, pasta.
When I was done with the first batch, my class asked for 3 servings of it.
Huh. What kind of pasta?
I don't know. They told us we had to create our own.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody's heard of that one. That was a very
and every
unique
one of us created our own recipe.
Wow.
One made, like, I think rib bones or something.
Jeez.
I remember another time, this was a while back. I still haven't done this fully. Like, I haven't, like, actually made it, but I had this idea at my friend's house. We were making like desserts and stuff for other things, and we were having some snacks, and she's like, "Oh, we have some mac and cheese, and we got some bagels and cream cheese." My brain, I said, "Bagel, cream cheese, mac and cheese. Let's go. Make it a sandwich." And everyone in the group just stared at me and just said, "No, you will ruin food for me."
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I did it anyway. I haven't done it like again. I need to do it more.
Good.
I need to try it. I need to perfect it.
Yeah,
I need
there we
to.
go. Oh my gosh, how funny! That's a good one.
Yeah.
No.
Another thing with the Chick-fil-A packet stuff, you don't want to put all of it in. It does not taste good. You need to put like a quarter of it.
Yeah, I can see that. All right,
Yeah.
I have a crazy. Since we're talking about weird concoctions, food concoctions, I have a weird one. So instead of using milk for mac and cheese, it's the mac and cheese you buy in a box, and the powder and all that. Instead of milk, this is so stupid. I don't know why.
Oh,
I'm
no.
talking about it. I use orange juice instead of milk.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
I ate some of it, but it wasn't that good.
I bet it wasn't.
Yeah, that was not a good choice. That was not a highlight in my cooking career whatsoever.
Yeah, I put Parmesan on my spaghetti noodles.
that's good.
That's good. Parmesan spaghetti.
I told my mom and my grandma, and I say, okay, every time if I have spaghetti noodles, you better put Parmesan all over it and in it.
Yeah.
I said, so it can be Parmesan-y.
Yeah.
And I said, but no sauce.
No sauce, just the pasta and Parmesan.
Just pasta.
Yep.
I used to when I was a kid. I used to have just pasta and butter. That was it.
I also put butter.
I've had that before. It's
That's
good.
good.
I also put butter in it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll get
butter.
them to do it.
What
Parmesan
would you
Huh?
What would you say is your favorite meal to cook?
I make this. It's this. What's it called? This Italian sausage Tuscan chicken pasta, and it's this. It's actually sort of like a. What's that?
Is it the Italian chicken pasta?
Yeah, It's really, really good. Actually, it's a recipe I got when I was working in Yellowstone, and it's a little bit spicy.
I was about to ask.
Oh, yeah, and it's so good. Another one that I make quite a bit is this one I got from my mom is a salmon recipe, and it's salmon with the seasoning is called jalapenos seasoning. It's a little bit spicy, a little bit hot, but then you sprinkle that on both sides. Caleb's like, no, not having it.
Nah, he's like, I'm done.
But no, it's really good. It's really good. But you sprinkle on both sides, you sear it, and then you put it in the oven. But before you put it in the oven, you put like a little pineapple cut out on it, and then you pour some lemon juice on it. And the pineapple cuts out like when you eat it, the pineapple cuts into the spiciness and hotness. So you have this nice sort of like spicy, sweet kind of taste to the salmon. It is good. Caleb, try it. It's good, man.
I don't like.
He's like, nah, I'm not gonna do it.
He's like, nah.
No.
I don't like salmon or pineapple.
He's like, I'm good.
Hey, and I just want to give you guys a heads up. I should have told you this earlier. I have to go at 7. We're going over to neighbor's place, so just want to give you a heads up.
Yep.
Just over 10 minutes.
Okay.
But those are probably my two favorite.
I would have to.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I would have to agree with Caleb about I love salmon, but what was the other thing in the recipe? Jalapenos?
Pineapple.
Is jalapeno seasoning?
Oh, pineapple.
Yes. In the pineapple on top. Yeah. I know it's
I'm not
weird.
a fan of pineapple.
Okay. Well, if you don't like pineapple,
I don't know why.
Pineapple.
I've tried it. A few weeks ago, I was eating some. It was so cold, man.
Oh,
It hurt my teeth.
Slimy.
And, yeah, it's also just slimy.
it can be.
It
Yeah.
reminds me of a slimy apple.
It's not slimy if you cut it because I actually buy like the full pineapple, not out of the can. If you buy it out of the can or the can, it's a little slimy. But it's not too bad if you cut it right. Like if you buy an actual pineapple and cut it that way, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
No,
maybe it was from a can, from what I had.
I tried it at my dress rehearsal when I was in school, and they said it helps your singing voice.
Ah,
Does it help yours?
maybe that's why I can sing so well.
because it
No,
was
kidding.
making me think it was gross.
Yeah.
I thought I was being
Can you hit the low and high notes?
I could hit it without it.
I only sing in the shower.
Huh?
Me
Oh, wow.
too.
Yeah, there we go. Absolutely.
Same.
Well, Nolan and Caleb, how do you guys know each other?
Our moms were in the same MPS group, and then we met by our parents.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I was just curious
And
because
then
you live in
I
Colorado.
thought we should start a podcast.
Cool. Yeah, good idea. Good idea, guys. It's awesome. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so we both have
MPS.
genetic versions of MPS, which is obviously a genetic disease, hence why we look similar. We
Yeah.
could be like brothers in a way.
Mhm.
And
Or
our
twins.
moms, I think they knew each other in a Facebook group,
Okay.
Yep.
but
Gotcha.
that's how they introduced us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And I kid you not, the first thing Caleb said to me, texted me, we should start a podcast.
Oh my God.
I don't
That was the
remember
first thing.
saying that.
Wow. How long you been doing it for?
2 or 3 years?
So technically, of how long we kind of been doing it, 2 or 3 years, but we took a break in the
Nice.
middle of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then we switched it to this, a
Yeah.
YouTube show. So
Okay.
Did
Yeah.
a
Okay, cool.
spectacular trio show.
yeah.
Yeah. I like the name. It's fun.
So it's technically not a podcast anymore. It's more of a show. But
Yeah,
So-
more like, yeah, gotcha.
potato patata. Same
Yeah,
thing.
right. All
Potato
good.
batata.
Yeah. So yeah.
Nice. Fun. Well, good for you guys. I'm happy for you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not just the cameras. We are just short. So
Live.
Good one. That's good. Oh, man.
yeah. I'm sorry. I make short jokes all the time.
You're so
All
bad.
the time.
That's funny.
Yeah, I have a lot.
Oh, man.
Uh-huh.
So
You guys ever get people like in person at all, or not? Is that hard to do? I suppose
we've never met in person.
We never met.
No kidding. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
We've met over like video chat, but not in person.
But not in person. Okay. Yeah.
I plan if we ever do meet, we'll have to do like a live thing.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, you will. Absolutely.
Really
yeah.
be.
Get somebody to film that one. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Hey,
get someone to interview us.
Yeah.
If you ever do come to Memphis, you need to bring your camera with you.
I always have it on me. Sure.
Yeah, we'll reach out to you for events if we plan them.
There we go. Sounds good.
We'll contract you.
There we go. I like it.
But we ain't paying.
We will.
Not paying. I'll give you a special rate then. That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. One last question.
Yeah, sure.
So this is totally theoretical. I know you've already been to a lot of places, but if you could go to any time, but anywhere, where would you want to go and take pictures?
Holy moly! Always ask me that anytime.
And this would not change the past or the future
or present.
So you could just pop in, take pictures, and pop out.
Okay, I got it. I think because what's funny, what I was talking about before, like I've done a lot of things, which is I've been so lucky in my career and how it's all sort of fingered off in these different kind of things, and even me, like I love macro photography, all that kind of stuff. Any stuff I'd like to do on my own. I know one place I would love to go would be space. I would love to photograph in space, like the Earth, and go to the moon. And I think that would just be insane. And I know Haley, Caleb, do you know Haley? Like, do you know her?
I've heard of her. My mom's told me about her.
Okay. I mean, she was obviously St. Jude patient.
I was trying to talk to her, but I think that she was busy. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And she went to space, which, I mean, incredibly cool, of course. But really as far as like something that I haven't done or would like to do, or if I could go somewhere in the past, I mean, or in the future, I mean, I think that would be something that would be so cool, just because it'd be so different, such a different environment, a challenge just because of light and darkness. And I think it'd be beautiful too. I think it'd be really an incredible experience. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that's a really good question, because I've never where would I go and what would I do? That's probably what I would do, I think.
You're welcome. I think of weird questions.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah. And to add on top of that, like veering off completely from space, I think like the Wild West, that would be like a cool time to be, photographer. I think that'd be cool. Just sort of like everything is very new, it's like open range and you claim your land and gunfights and all this crap. I mean, that'd be a wild time, I think, to photograph. I mean, I think back then they had like a big old 8x10 camera. It's not like they're going around with the easy cameras they have now. But but if I could bring a camera that I have now back then, I think it'd be some cool shooting.
You're good to bring your gear. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
bring your gear.
There we go. Then I'd
bring your gadgets.
I'd do that too. I think that'd be a fun time. There's a lot of fun different times you could do, but space and maybe the Wild West, I think would be fun. So good question.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
we are.
Me.
We definitely love to bring you back on at some point.
Sure.
Talk more.
Yeah,
I feel like we can talk a lot more.
Longer. That went quick. That went really quick. So I'm happy to let me know and happy to come back.
Yes, we've been talking for almost an hour. So
yes, we have.
So.
Yeah.
Time flies.
All right, guys. Fun. Yes, it does.
We are the Spectacular Trio, and you can watch us on YouTube.
Yep. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this out to your friend. And yeah, have a spectacular day, guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys, so much. Have a good one.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.